Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. Tonight is Saturday night, so of course we are talking all things love and marriage. This first video, of course, is going to be Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 4, episode 15. The title was Trick or Retreat. I had to Google to find the title because my Philo app did not post it. It just says season 4, episode 15, so I had to hunt the title down. Anyway, before we get into it, please click that thumbs up button. Please subscribe. Please share and comment, y'all. Appreciate all the love and support we're getting over here thus far. Okay, so we're going to get into the video. The episode was so. This is the mid-season finale, so I think we got to wait a couple weeks or 3 weeks before they come back with a new episode. Okay, looks like the new, the rest of the season going to show us the big fight that was played out on social media. So it's going down in the second half, y'all. Anyway, let's get into tonight's episode, though. So the episode opens up with, oh my God, why am I blanking right now? I'm sorry, y'all. Tiffany, Tisha, and Kimmi. I don't know why my mind went blank. Anyway. And it's late, y'all, and I'm packing, so a lot going on. Anyway, episode with Tisha, Kimmi, and Tiffany went down to the rock climbing place. Kimmi said, you know, she's athletic, but she's scared of heights, so she's not really feeling this rock climbing. Me neither, girl. I am afraid of heights as well. I do not do heights. Now, I could do roller coasters. I don't like the rides that just shoot you straight up and shoot you straight back down real fast. What's the point of that? I'm not into that anymore. However, I do like roller coasters. Like, I'm scared to get on them, but I'll get on them and it's fun. However, other than that, I don't do heights. I'm not jumping off the building. I'm not rock climbing, not climbing a tree, not climbing a fence, not climbing a hill. Okay, I don't do hiking. I don't do none of that. Okay, so I felt Kimmi in this scene, but Kimmi did face her fear. She climbed. She did good, actually. She almost went as high as I think she went as high as Tiffany did. Latisha didn't really do nothing. Anyway, Kimmi was like, well, Tisha wants to hang out again. She said it in a little weird tone, don't y'all think? Anyway, the scene kind of fell forced, first of all, because you know Tisha and Kimmi ain't hanging out with Tiffany like that. But anyway, basically the whole point of the scene, y'all, was for Latisha to let the ladies know about the couples retreat with Dr. Francis, and Kimmi is all on board because she said, well, you know, Maurice talking to Dr. Francis got her honeymoon, so she hoped that works out. Tiffany hopes that it gets her a honeymoon and a baby. And then Tisha and Tiffany's like, yeah, you know, Tisha and Kimmy's like, oh yeah, you trying to have a baby? I'm like, Tiffany, you still trying to have a baby, girl? Because I don't see it for Tiffany with this baby. I don't see it for her. Okay, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know if you think Tiffany gonna really have a baby or not. But anyway, so then they were talking about how the Marsau and Maurice was saying that Louis was have sexual frustration, and Tisha just couldn't believe that because Tiffany always talk about sex. Sorry, y'all, didn't turn off my, did not put it on Do Not Disturb. Don't know why I didn't do that. Anyway, so then they're like, yeah, girl, because you be talking about sex all the time. And Tiffany's like, I know, I think he's just a sexaholic, you know, then he doesn't understand that, you know, we want romance, we want this and that. So anyway, they're going to go down to the retreat. Next scene, we have Maurice and Kimmi. So Kimmi is telling Maurice about the retreat. Now, mind you, they got the suitcases on the bed. And shout out to whoever it was on Twitter who said it first, because that is my pet peeve. I hate when people put the suitcases on the bed to pack. I don't like it when you do it on your own bed. I don't like it when you do it in the hotel room. In the hotel, they even got a little thing for you to put your suitcase on, so you have no excuse. Now, me, I'm packing. My suitcase is on the floor while I'm packing. It's in the other room, matter of fact, on the floor while I'm packing. Why do y'all put y'all suitcases on the bed? Draw down in the comments and let me know if y'all pack with your suitcase on the bed or not. Because to me, that's gross. Your suitcase is being rolled around on the ground, first of all through the airport, all through the plane. Ooh, no. Like, no. I know it's probably easier because then you got to bend over to put it down on the floor, but no, please. Why is y'all putting suitcases on the bed and dirty wheels, touching your sheets? No, no. I cannot stand when people pack on the bed with the suitcase on the bed. Anyway, so Kimmi tells him about the retreat, and so Maurice is not really feeling it. He's like, well, we good right now. He's like, we don't need to be re-energized. We energized. Like, I don't see any problems we have right now. It's just going to create problems. We're just going to be talking about, you know, who's all going. He's like, you know, Latisha, Marsau, and the Widows. So we're just going to be talking about their problems, creating problems, and he not here for that. So then Kimmi was like, well, I thought you would like it, you know. Seemed like you learned a lot from Dr. Francis when you went to see him before. And she's like, well, do you think there's anything I could work on in? Like, she's like, maybe, you know, we can go so I can work on some stuff. And so then Maurice is like, yes, sex every day. He was so ready for that answer, first of all. So then she kind of was taken back, like, what? And she was like, okay, like, you know, you tend to want sex more, and I think, you know, it's a bit much. Even your brother said that it's a little excessive, and he's like, well, my brother's not in my marriage. And he was like, who said wakes up every day, one day and says, you know, I think I'm not going to eat today. I'm like, that's not a fair comparison, Maurice, but we get it. So Cassie Kimmi thinking he want too much, he thinking she thinking too little. Okay. So then he was like, you know, I thought this would please both of us. You know, why wouldn't you want to do something to make the marriage better, make me happy? And then he's like, how about this? Like, basically, he gonna, you know, try to compromise. He said, so to make me more excited to go on the trip, how about you agree to sex twice a day while we're on the trip? So then Kimmi is really over his BS at this point. And she was like, no. She was like, because it's never going to be enough for you. Like, if I say, okay, we can do sex every day, now you're going to want it twice a day. Just like this trip, now you want to do sex twice a day instead of just once a day. She's like, no, I'm not agreeing to that. I'm not doing that. And then he was like, well, why would you want to do that? Like, when you want to do something that's going to make us both happy. And he was like, you know, sometimes, I think she was complaining about he's not doing enough romance and it could be robotic. And sometimes it got to be planned. And you know, he's like, yeah, sometimes I want you to just get straight to it. And she's like, yeah, you need to do, you know, how guys need to do more foreplay and all that. And so then basically he was having an attitude about wanting more sex. She's like, dang, you already running a trip before it happens. And he's like, I don't see, you know, why you just won't do this. And so basically, and then he had said something else in a condescending tone. He was really annoying me. And I was like, oh, them Scots are the same. Maurice and Marcel speak the same way. It's just we don't see as much as Maurice's, but we see more this season. That condescending tone thing they do. I can't say it verbatim the way Maurice said it, but he was like, I don't get, you know, I'll just go for you, but, you know, I don't understand why you just won't do this thing for me, and I guess. And she's like, well, I just need you to pack. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it later. Like, he just had such a bad attitude. And I'm just like, Kimmi already over here nursing, doing real estate, doing all this. I'm sure she's giving Maurice plenty of sex, but he just can't get enough. So anyway, I guess that's the theme of the whole season is these men feeling like they can't get enough sex, right? So anyway, so you could tell Kimmi was irritated with Maurice after that. And I know it was too, girl. So anyway, then we go on to Latisha and Marsau. So Latisha got to tell Marsau about the trip. But of course, Latisha gonna lie. She said she got to use what she got to get what she want. Girl, you not really using what you got to get you want. Because if you really was, girl, you were putting that ill na something on him. And then you could tell him we're going to see Dr. Francis. Like, girl, you would be using a little bit more of your womanly wiles, okay? But I get what you're saying, Tisha. So Tisha basically was like, I got to lie. Because to get Marcel here and no issues, I got to kind of lie, not tell him the whole truth. So I get it, Tisha. I get it. We know how Marcel is. So anyway, I'm pretty sure Marcel knew where he was going at the end of the day, though. First, she was, in the very beginning scene, she was like, oh, we're going to go somewhere. You want me to surprise you? And he was like, no. And I'm like, Tisha, did we not learn anything from the Vegas trip last season, girl? Do not surprise Marcel because you're going to get your face cracked every time. Girl, I know you learned something from last season. I hope to shout. So anyway, she tells them we're going to Nashville, somewhere we always like to go. She said Nashville. I don't know if that's where they're really going for the retreat, but we'll see. And so then he's like, oh, who's all going? She's like, oh, the Scots. And then he's like, okay, cool. And then she also said the Whitlows. He's like, the Whitlows, like, they're like, when we ever have fun with them? And then he was trying to plan all this stuff he want to do in Nashville. He's like, oh, yeah, there's a cigar lounge I want to check out there. She's like, no. He's like, yeah, we can all go to this one club. She's like, no, this is my trip. We're not going to the club. We're not doing that. He's like, it's a shopping mall. She was like, no. And so then he was like, well, what? Like, And she was like, no, it's my trip. We're going to be bonding and getting to know each other and talk about each other's issues, talk with all the couples and all that. So then he was like, okay, like, I guess. And then he was like, but the Whitlows, like, when we ever have fun with them, they kind of boring and they're all judgmental and who want to deal with that? He's like, well, I hung out with Louis, and guys trip to Atlanta, and he wasn't judgmental. He was cool. He was like Pinocchio turning into a real boy, to a man. I hollered when he said that. Marsau do be funny, though. Marsau is hilarious. And so he was like, well, Louis is cool by himself, but not with Tiffany. And so then he's like, is this like a swingers thing? Because he was like, the people going? Nah, they ain't a swinger. He wouldn't swing with them, basically. And so, long story short, y'all, Tisha, she told Marsau enough to get him there, okay? So anyway, I know when he see Dr. Francis, though, he won't be pissed, right? So then we see Martell go check on Louis, because, Louis had to leave the guy's trip early. And he wanted to see what's going on. He had death of the family. So he goes to Louis's, what is it, like a sports store or something that Louis has with the batting cages and all that. So anyway, or some kind of sports place. I don't know what kind of place it is. Anyway, but I was happy to see some white folk walk back in the background, because I was going to say on Twitter or on here, every time we see Louis at his place of business, we don't see no people there. And this is the first episode that I noticed some people walking through in the background. So I said, oh, people do be coming. Because, Louis and Tiffany could use the money with the business, okay? We all can, okay? It's no shade. So anyway, Louis is like, yeah, he tells us in his confessional that once he got the call the night before his death of the family, that's when he decided to immediately, leave the next morning and be with his family. Of course, he wanted to support Martell, but it was more important to be with his family. I'm like, Louis, you don't owe us an explanation for that. You had a death of the family, you had to go. Like, I feel like he didn't need to tell us he wanted to support Martell and all that. Like, you had a death in the family, enough said. He didn't owe us an explanation. But anyway, maybe the producers asked him or something. I don't know. So anyway, Martell and Louis are talking, and Martell thanks Louis for showing up to Atlanta and supporting him and all that. And Louis asked about, the kids and the co-parenting, and Martell said it's really hard. Mel won't answer his emails. He done sent her like 1,000 emails. She don't answer. Their communication is horrible. And he's like, I don't know what she's thinking. Like, I ain't trying to get back with you. He's like, it's just for the kids, the sake of the kids, we need to be on the same page. So I think personally, I said it on Twitter that Mel is sending them emails to spam. She's sending them to junk. They in the trash can file on her computer. Then she emptied it. Okay, them emails is out in the web somewhere, never to be found again. Okay, sorry, man, Martell. We're gonna dig up all them emails. Anyway, I hope that, seriously though, I do hope that Mel is not ignoring Martell's emails purposely. I hope that's not really going on, because that would not be good. That would not be good. Like, they got to communicate for those kids. So anyway, I just wonder how the communication really works between them. I really do. So anyway, Martell goes on to say that, Mel, she's just so evil, and, that's why, or, she has the friends, and then they don't be friends anymore because of the way she is, and they gonna learn. I'm like, how you gonna sit up here and call this lady evil? You gonna he said she has hate in her heart, and so I'm like, sir, to be expected when she got publicly humiliated, and you had a baby on her with coleslaw. Sorry, y'all. Hitting the table, getting mad at Martell. I don't like when Martell do all that, okay? I don't like it. So then basically he was saying, Louis was saying, like, woman, nothing like a woman scorned. They're going to use their kids against you. That's why she not, answering the emails, and, y'all going to have to figure it out. And that's why she's, probably doing like that, because she's scorned. And Louis is right. Back at Mel's house, we see her and her mama, Miss Van, over there. Miss Van helping her pick out outfits, because Mel's going to be hosting a grand opening. They're opening like a new, looks like an outdoor kind of arena concert space in Huntsville. They're trying to get more things to do in Huntsville, because Huntsville is growing. And so it's like the grand opening of this event space. And I think they're having like a gospel concert there on a Sunday. And so she's co-hosting with a local, I couldn't remember his name, local gospel artist there in Huntsville. So she was showing her mom the outfits, the black one that she wore, and There's another one. The mom didn't look like she cared about them outfits one way or another, to be honest. And then somebody was like, well, let me get another one to see, because you didn't really seem like you liked those. And then she was like, okay, I also had this one. This black one is thin. And then she was like, you know what? Why don't I just do a wardrobe change? And then Van was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Do a wardrobe change. I say, you shady, Mama Van. So then Mama Van gonna say, you know, it's so good you got this opportunity, and it would be good, nice if the kids were there to see you and support you. She's like, I know, I wish they could be there, and I told them, but they're with their father this weekend, and I told them to ask him and see if he would bring them, you know, and maybe he will. And she's like, yeah, and they were talking about how, you know, the co-parenting could be better, if the communication was better. And Miss Van gonna say, yeah, you know, it just sucks that he's like the devil, he's so evil. So then she proceeds to call Martell evil or the devil or something. And I feel like, now I get it, Martell is scum of the earth to them, and I get it. I'm not the biggest Martell fan myself. However, I don't think she should have called him that, just because, you know, one day the kids are gonna see that, and it's not good to see. Like, you never, no matter how much you hate the man that hurts you, that's the father of your kids, or vice versa. As a man, no matter how much you hate the woman that hurts you as the mother of your kids, you should never disrespect them in front of the kids. And so, same thing with the grandparents. Like, the grandparents should not talk trash about the other parent, and then the kids, you know, hear that later. Because then, growing up, that gives kids mixed feelings. They don't know what side to be on. Already they got to deal with this divorce. It's just not good. And one day those kids are going to see that. They probably saw it now. They probably watched the show. The oldest one is old enough, and the little Martell probably is old enough to watch the show now. So it's just kind of, I wish Miss Van wouldn't do that. But we're going to see it as the season, we get to the second half of the season, and Miss Van getting real messy like Miss Wanda. She posting pictures and screenshots and whatnot. So anyway, moving on to, I skipped Louis and Tiffany's scene. So before we get to the end with Mel and Martel finally shooting the scene together, I know that was the big hype of this week. Then we see Louis and Tiffany talk about the trip. So again, they got suitcases on the bed. I can remember if Tisha and Marsau had suitcases on their bed. I feel like they did, though. Marsau was spread out on the bed, laying down like he always do anyway, so it was hard to tell. But anyway, Tiffany over there trying to offer Louis the little suitcase, a little carry-on. He like, what am I fitting this, a jacket? I don't blame him. Like, where y'all luggage set at? Quit playing with me on this TV. So anyway, she was like, well, I didn't know which suitcase you wanted to use. She's like, I can put my stuff up real small in this one. You can use that one. I'm like, y'all playing. So anyway, she brings up the trip and says, you know, she hopes that, you know, she thinks it'll be fun, to be a good idea. And Louis is like, yeah, maybe Dr. Francis can, you know, help us work out some things. And Tiffany said she said she had to leave the trip early because she had a couple engagements. She could not move, could not decline, so she has a women's leadership conference to speak at, and so she has to leave the trip early. And so then he was like, well, what, like, how's that work? We working on ourselves, and I'm gonna be there by myself, like, can I leave with you? And she was like, oh yeah, you can leave when I leave. He was like, yeah, because we coming together, we should leave together. I'm like, you gotta ask her permission to leave when she leave, when she leave, you leave just like that. Like, what is going on? Louis and Tiffany seems to be just, I can't even regurgitate everything they was talking about. It was like womp, 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 to be honest, y'all. Basically, he complaining that, you know, we're not getting enough quality time together, not getting enough sex. She's saying, like, you know, maybe you're being a sex addict and you also not providing romance. Maybe Dr. Francis will, you know, help you see that you need to, you know, cuddle me sometimes, hold me sometimes. You need to do this. And even when we're not together, show me you're thinking of me. And then maybe we'll get a little her out of it. I'm like, what? And he even like, what? And she's like, you know, a little her. He's like, oh, baby? He's like, well, honey, that's going to take sex. You can't get a baby without sex, and you get time, and especially time for you. Because he like, yeah, if you had this baby, you going to take care of it. That's what he was telling her in that moment, okay? So Tiffany looking stupid. And I don't like the way Tiffany talks to Louis. Tiffany talks with a certain tone and attitude, like she talked to Louis like she think he dumb and he not. And I'm curious to know why he puts up with that. And then he kind of just looks at her like, I don't know. Something about Louis and Tiffany. It's just something about Louis and Tiffany. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know If y'all can put your finger on it, by Louis and Tiffany. It's just something about them. So anyway, then I think we got through all the scenes, y'all. Then we got to the end. Mel is at her event, and her manager Dawn and her mom comes. She getting her hair done, swinging it, steady talking and looking over. Yeah, you know, we here. And I had to do the t-shirts and da-da-da-da-da. And Dawn is keeping her busy. Shout out to Dawn. And so, but she was just moving her head entirely too much to be getting it flat iron. I'm like, girl, if that lady burned you, it's on you. My mom would have popped that head and straightened me out real quick. So anyway, I did not condone violence, y'all. So anyway, she goes to, you know, she ended up wearing a black number. I don't know if she did a wardrobe change or not. And she was hosting with the gospel singer, as I said. Her and her mom are backstage talking about how much Huntsville is growing. It's becoming even larger than Birmingham because it's growing so quick. And so then here comes Martell with the kids. They were in the audience. He brought the kids back there. The baby is with his mom. I was like, where the baby at? And so she, you know, Van and Mel were surprised, to see the kids at Martell. And so they're saying it's real hot out there. Kids gonna try to stick it out even though it's hot. Their grandmother, Miss Van, took them to go get some water and whatnot. Mel asked, where's Sugar Mom? I guess that's what they call the baby. Is it Melanie? Is that her name? I can't remember. She's, like I said, she's with Martell's mom. So anyway, she thanks him for bringing the kids out, and she appreciated. She's like, I know they wanted to come, and she was like, you gotta ask your dad. And he's like, yeah, they asked me. I was like, oh, it's real hot. And he's like, but nah, we gotta go, we gotta support. And so, and he even gave Mel a compliment, because he was like, since the opening day. And she's like, yeah, he was like, congratulations, gave her a high five. And they're just kind of sitting there awkwardly. I don't know why this was so hyped up that, oh, Mel and Martel are finally filming together. The first time this season. We knew they would film together. I couldn't see them not filming together. They both know what side their bread is buttered on. So I didn't see the big hype to lead up to this scene like they were doing in the commercials. It was a little bit awkward. But Martell did congratulate Mel. And that was nice of him to bring the kids, even though it was his weekend. And it did make me think back to some episodes ago when he wanted the kids at their book reading signing event, and Mel didn't bring them because she had to attend the funeral, which it's not comparable completely because, of course, she had a death in her family, and then she had a valid reason not to bring the kids there. Now, she could have maybe arranged to let them stop by and take some pictures with Martell and, you know, be a part of their book signing event some kind of way before she got on the road. I don't know. But I just found it very, very interesting that Martell was able to get the kids to her event, but she didn't really put the effort to get the kids to his event, which actually was the kids' event as well. But, you know, like I said, maybe the circumstances were completely different. Maybe she communicated her event way better than he communicated his. I don't know. Anyway, that was pretty much the end of the episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Drop down in the comments. Like I said, after the little break they about to have is really about to get popping. We're going to see the big old brawl that broke out. We're going to get to see Destiny. Because, you know, we ain't seen her in a minute. We ain't seen Stormy. So we're going to see what happens with Dr. Francis and all that good stuff. Looks like it's going to get good. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.